What's chopping, family? Welcome to the chopping block where trees become pencils. I'm your host, Jamal Midgette, and I'm here to chop it up with you, share my story, and give a voice to stories both different and alike. I truly believe things are easier when you just chop them up into smaller pieces. And here at the chopping block, we welcome you to be yourself authentically while also giving others that same courtesy. So subscribe and join the family where we love you where you are and love you enough to challenge you to grow. Let's go. What's up, family? Welcome back to the chopping block, man, where trees become pencils and roses grow from the concrete. I am here with my amazing and beautiful wife.
Hello.
And today we're going to be talking about a few things, and we're going to be using what I like to call our relationship basket that I didn't handcraft it myself, but I made sure we put all the items in there and make sure everything was good. And so let's review a few of the things. These are what we're going to be using, some of the things we're going to be drawing from. You remember what this is from?
Yeah, that cup is from our honeymoon, right?
Uh-huh.
Yes.
That's right. So this was a burger place that was amazing.
It was a good place.
But it turned our stomachs upside down.
Oh, yeah, because we had, like, milkshakes. It was, it was good, though. It was real good food.
Isn't this what my milkshake was in?
Yes.
This is what the milkshake was in. But shout out to Gulf Coast. We aren't sponsored by them, but shameless plug. Let's see. Here's a card. Who got this card for who? It's a birthday card. I think you got this for me.
I probably did get that for you. Yeah.
You got that one for me. Yeah, you got this one for me. Oh, yeah, then it's a note, love letter in here. This used to be on my keychain.
Oh, the Polaroid picture.
Yeah, this definitely my favorite Polaroid picture right here.
That was a park in Kennesaw.
Good
times.
Shout out to Kennesaw.
Shout out to Kennesaw.
No, because they had, like, the best parks. Yeah, there's another one of your cards.
Oh, and I wrote in that one.
Mm-hmm. Good handwriting.
Wrote in that one. Okay. You wrote in that one. Yeah.
And this is your vows.
That we found. I'm glad we found it.
The Lord led us to your vows. Yeah, she lost her vows, y'all. That's crazy.
I did. Lost the book.
Crazy. This is, what's this? This is a hat from...
Oh, that was our picnic.
Picnic. Yeah, where I bought all this fruit.
I knew he was going to say that.
He didn't eat none of the fruit.
I knew he was going to say that. It's okay.
Okay, wait. No, we got to show this one.
What?
We got to show this one. This is our long distance messages in a bottle. Did you see this on TikTok?
For you, right?
Yeah.
Oh, Amazon. We love Amazon. We love Amazon.
Amazon. Okay, so we press the Y with a cheek.
Yep.
So
it sounds holy, you know.
These long distance messages. So every time that I was like really missing her during our 3 years of being long distance, I would open up one of these, but I would try to save them to like a time where I was really really missing her. So there's still a few of these that I haven't opened. But I opened up, I don't know if y'all could see, but I opened up quite a few of them.
Oh, you was missing me a lot.
Yeah. So let's see what else. Anything else in here? Oh, these. Okay, I think these are more Polaroids. Yeah, these are the Polaroids. Look at that.
Wow, you kept those. Wow.
Mm-hmm. What? Everything. Yeah, that was the.
Dang, we look so young.
Yeah, that was the Pop Smoke era of Jamal. That boy was different, wasn't he?
Oh my goodness.
Yep. Look at this. And then that's when you went on your trip. Oh. I ain't gonna show that.
Please don't. Please don't.
Oh, yeah. So, yeah, I keep those up in there.
What else is in here?
What you looking for now? Oh, those the passes.
We need to use these. We haven't used these really yet.
I haven't used them. You bought them for me.
I bought those.
So all of these are mine to use. Talk about weed. These are my passes.
We need to use them.
Yeah, I will give you one. I think a back massage is in there. Yeah, did chest and back yesterday, so I may have to pull one of those. So I'm glad we went through this, so I know. So I know. Okay, so let's hop into it. Okay, what we got? So we're gonna be pulling some questions out of here, and we're gonna see where they lead to. She has no idea what questions are in here. I kind of forgot some of the questions I put in here, but I had a sense of the direction of where I wanted to go with these questions. So let's do it. You want to draw first? How you want to do it? You can. I know you can't fit your hand in there. You can't fit your hand in there, can you? Don't get it stuck, please.
No, I can't.
Oh yeah. And show the folks the ring that I sold the organ for.
Oh yeah.
Please. Yes. And to the person who has my organ, it is blessed. It is blessed. All right. Let's see. First one. There is no freaking way. I put a little gag in here, and I'm the one. So this says.
Like you pulled the gag. That's hilarious.
This says you just so happened to pull the one note with no question. Lucky you. Draw again. For the first one, it's crazy. I did not imagine that was gonna be the first one. Hey yo, wow. Okay, all right. So I have to draw again. That's what the note said. It told me to draw again. I'm drawing again. Okay, so how would you encourage someone that is actively seeking love but hasn't found it?
That's a good question. This brings me back to, gosh, when I was in college looking for, well, not really looking. I really wasn't looking, but I was praying. Said a lot. I'll say I used to pray this prayer to God to help him. Well, I'll say I used to pray a prayer for my future husband. You know, make sure my future husband is godly. Make sure my future husband is not only godly, but reads the Bible consistently, who prays, who's family oriented. Just a person who I would love to see myself with.
And how would you encourage them, you know?
I would tell them just to keep praying. Let that person come to them. I would also encourage them to...
I got it.
Like, my goodness. I would encourage them to pray. I would encourage them to... I say pray and continue to seek good friendships too, because honestly, having good friends in your corner could help you differentiate who you should entertain, who you should not entertain. I'm telling you, keep those friends close to you because they'll help you out for sure. So
I believe I'll encourage someone seeking love but hasn't found it. First, I want to encourage you to love yourself. I think it's important that before you go down a journey of loving someone else, you need to love yourself and see what type of love that you want to receive.
right.
Because then you could actually have some insight to give to your partner when you do find them. Like, hey, I went down this self-love journey and now I'm not so dependent on finding love within the relationship, but I already have a foundation of self-love, which allows me to stay strong on my boundaries.
Right.
I think that was something that really helped me leading up to finding you, which would be my wife. Like, I love myself so much that I just wouldn't settle or compromise until like every single thing that I believe that God had burdened on my heart that was in my wife was in front of me.
That's
and
good.
So I want to encourage you to just love yourself, and it's in loving yourself that you'll be able to love someone a lot better than you ever planned. That was a good one.
That was a good one. That was a really good one.
You pulled that one?
No, you pulled that one.
Oh, I pulled that one. Okay.
Yeah. Because you had to pull twice.
Oh, yeah. Don't pull all of them out now.
I probably shouldn't pull that one. Let's see. Okay. There you go. I didn't know where to put that. Okay. What's something being married taught you about yourself? Ooh-wee. Let me say that one again. What's something being married taught you about yourself?
You want me to answer first?
Yes.
Okay. Man, I've been learning a lot recently. So 6 months plus of us being married. One thing I learned about myself is that let me see. Let me say it like, I don't think I learned this about myself. It's something I didn't really realize. I didn't realize how much I didn't like people to help me. Like, I was like, yeah, you know, I knew I was always a type of person that, like, if I could get it done myself, I would. But I didn't know it was, like, so bad that if I can't figure it out by myself, or if I'm too uncomfortable asking, that I will literally allow it to set me back, you know, just so I won't have to involve specifically you in helping me. Like, I realized, I learned about myself that there are some things that I thought I was already supposed to have figured out as a husband, being that I was able to see my dad be a husband my whole life. So I feel like I came into marriage like I'm supposed to know what I'm doing. So regardless of what happens, I don't need to be asking you for help, because there are just some things that I just need to already have handled. And so that's what I had to learn. Is like in marriage, a part of the vulnerability and becoming one person is you letting them into the parts that you normally don't want help with, the places that you don't even see yourself. So that was the biggest thing, to just let you into the places that I would much rather figure out by myself, because you know, there's actually a lot of security when I do let you in and you help me, but it also could be like a scary thing, because it's like, dang, I don't want to feel like I should already have this figured out, and then when I come to you and ask for help with it, he's like, why you don't got this figured out, or why you don't already have this? So yeah, that's something big that I had to learn, and I'm still learning it. I'm still, you know, things aren't gonna just change in 6 months,
right?
You know, I know people who's watching this who've been married way longer than us, and I know y'all looking at us like, oh, 6 months, they ain't even scratched the surface of what marriage is.
Oh, trust me, we
I
know.
Understand.
We know.
You know, and so we fully embrace that. But I want to give you an opportunity to answer it. Let me read it again.
Yeah.
Okay. What's something being married taught you about yourself?
Whew. All right. Myself. Right. Self-reflection. Myself.
Yourself. Okay, go ahead.
You too. Something that marriage has taught me about myself is that I have to continue to learn how to communicate with my partner.
Break that down. Break it down for the people of God.
Yeah. So, yeah, I had to learn how to communicate with my partner, meaning that I can't always say something in one tone, but mean it in a different tone. I have to inwardly reflect. Hold on, create a pause. Yes, he might have done this, but how can you better communicate this so it won't lead to anything escalating, any situation? So, yes, learning how to communicate in marriage is something I'm still learning. Amen. Praise
Amen,
Jesus.
amen, amen.
Yes.
Hallelujah. I'm glad. Somebody gonna need that.
Somebody's gonna need that, because, my God, you gotta relearn it.
Okay, let's pull this one. Ain't no more gags in here, so these are gonna be all real serious questions. I can't believe I pulled the gag the first try.
Crazy.
And I'm usually like lucky at this type of stuff.
Right.
Oh, this is gonna be quick. Who wins the most at arcades? When we go to arcades, who wins the most?
Who wins the most?
Yeah, let's see if we're gonna be honest out here.
Who wins the most? You win the most. Yeah. I'm gonna be honest. He wins the most.
Yeah, I be locked in.
He wins the most, yeah.
But I'll say, I think you celebrate the most when you win. You talk the most junk when
I
you
do
win.
talk the most junk.
Once we get to the, it just happened. Who was that boxcar in North Carolina, and we was playing the skee ball.
Oh yeah.
And I ain't win one.
I won every time.
I mean, then you get like you hit the 100 like twice. No, that's crazy.
Yeah,
I can't.
I did.
You hit the 100 twice. I can't do nothing about that. It's no winning. I think it's their turn.
It is my turn. Let's see. Oh, okay. Is faithfulness more important than honesty? Or should they be equally important? Let me hear that again. Is faithfulness more important than honesty?
Uh-huh.
Or should they be equally important?
Shando. That's a question.
That is a question. Is faithfulness more important than honesty?
And I still don't know the answer. I'm still thinking about it. Let me see. Let me hold it. I don't know. Maybe that'll help me think. Is important than honesty?
Is faithfulness more? Honestly, I think they should be equally important, because it is important to be honest, but also important to be faithful too in your marriage, in any relationship. Honestly, honesty is number one, because if my partner isn't truthful with me, then how can we grow? How can we grow in a relationship if it's not honest, if we're not truthful with each other?
Yeah, I agree.
And then being faithful trickles on down with that.
Yeah. Yeah, I agree. I think that they are equal, and I think it's safe to say they go hand in hand.
Right.
Like, I think there is no faithfulness without honesty, and there is no true honesty without faithfulness.
Right.
And I think it is important to really have a clear definition of what faithfulness is.
Amen.
Prior to getting in a relationship with somebody. Because faithfulness looks different for everyone, and I think based on who the person are and how they manage their singleness can really impact how they view faithfulness. And so if there was somebody in their singleness who didn't have a lot of discipline and didn't have any type of structure into them being intentional, once they move into a season where they're being intentional in a relationship and they're doing all the things to get to marriage, it may be hard for them to actually have the same perspective of faithfulness as someone who was more intentional in their singleness about being prepared for marriage. So
That's good.
I think it's important for just it to just have a defined what is unfaithfulness, what is faithfulness, things of that nature. Like for an example, something that may be controversial, but something I mentioned when we were dating, how I, even with my struggle with pornography, how I viewed every time I watched pornography as being unfaithful to you.
Yes. Yeah.
And that came from like a biblical backing, honestly, because Jesus corrected like people who were listening at the time, and he told them like, hey, it's actually the thought of adultery. Like if you even think about committing adultery, you've already done
it. Right.
You didn't already committed it. So like, and so I really took that and I was like, yo, if I'm watching pornography, that means that whoever I'm watching, I'm thinking about having sex with this person. And if I'm in a relationship and I'm thinking about having sex with somebody and I'm looking at them like literally physically, then that is unfaithfulness.
Right.
If you are in a committed relationship. And just to like really tie that into our relationship with God, there are some things that we look at, there are some things that we engage with a bit too passionately. And it can be unfaithful to God based on how much time we're spending with it and what it's really providing for us.
That's just like social media with the TikTok, the Instagram. If you can spend more time doing that than reading your Bible, that's a problem. That's a problem. So yeah, I agree.
Yeah, and a lot of this stuff, unfortunately, has just been normalized, which both of us has found ourselves doing the same thing.
Right.
Spending more time on TikTok than in the Bible, spending more
Me
time.
included, yep.
Yeah, like we found ourselves in these same positions, so I don't want anybody out there to feel like,
oh yeah,
we judging you. No, we've been there, still there,
still there.
To get,
Amen.
get out, trying to get out of that. You know what I'm saying? Because even though with me reading the Bible every day this year and in a few days before we moved on to the new year, I still, on the record, probably still spend more time on Instagram than the Bible, right now. So that's something that I'm continually trying to wring out. But I think it's just important that we outline what is faithful and what is unfaithful, and that can serve as a good foundation for us to even build the boundaries. So I think one of the biggest motivating factors about me getting my addiction of pornography in check was really like us being married, and I'm like, yo, like, this is me being unfaithful to my wife. Like when I didn't cut no corners, when I didn't give myself no breaks, when I didn't feel sorry for myself, and when I truly held myself accountable for that, that has really been helping me see the seriousness. Like, no, this got to get under control.
Yeah, and when you told me, you remember, I was very hurt by it,
Yeah.
but I was proud of you for being honest with me, because keeping the truth from me won't make any situation any better. So, yeah, I still commend you for that, being honest with me.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Well, did I pull that one?
I pulled that one. That was a good question.
Yeah, it was. That was a good one. Let's see what we got. Come on now. Okay. That's this one. All right. When did you know you loved your partner?
Oh, it's the same answer. When it was my 21st birthday. Yep, it was my 21st birthday, and at this time Jamal lived in North Carolina because he was still. You were an undergrad, right? No, grad school. Yeah, grad school.
First year grad school.
Yeah. So, yeah, we were long distance at this time. So, I was planning a birthday dinner with friends and stuff. And planning a birthday dinner with friends because the next week I was going to go to Vegas. So I wanted to do something local with my friends, and on that day, everything was just going bad. Everything was going bad that day. But, still wanted to enjoy the night. So we went to dinner, and I'm enjoying dinner. Dinner is going good, not gonna lie. Dinner's going real good. And then my friend is tapping me on my leg, and I'm like, okay, what's going on? Oh, somebody else's birthday. Happy birthday. Okay. And then out the corner of my eye, I see Jamal walking in with flowers. I said, oh my gosh, he really loves me. Wow. And that's when I fell in love with him for real.
Yeah. And then, even the DJ then cue some music. Like, hey man, listen, y'all, we gonna link that video in the in the podcast notes for them. If you listening, if it's just the audio, if you only listen to the audio, then you just gonna have to go to my Instagram page and see the video. But the video is fire. I do a whole little intro in the beginning and everything. It was good. So when did I know I love my partner? So I actually told her I loved her. Well, I don't even think we were together.
We weren't together, y'all.
We weren't together.
We weren't together.
Honest. Yeah, we were just like,
I said, woo.
We was just like talking, but like,
my Lord,
I already knew, like, I think it was probably like we would do like movie nights at my parents' house downstairs in the living room. Mm-hmm. It was probably like the third movie night.
I don't even think it was the third.
I think it was like the second one.
Yeah.
Now, granted, like, before y'all think I'm just crazy singing out. Now, granted, we had been talking for a good minute by this time. Like,
that is true. That is true.
Talking for a good minute at this, at this time.
Yes, he's not.
But it had only been through FaceTime and through text and stuff like that. And this was around the first couple times that we was getting to hang out because I just graduated. So now I'm living in Georgia.
Well, we gotta tell
closer to her. Oh yeah, we definitely gotta get that background. But like, so now I'm just like, yo, I want us to be intentional about hanging out. Da 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 da.
Like, okay.
And probably like 3 times, I'm just making sure, she check off certain boxes, but with me, I love very easily, and if I just feel safe around you, feel like I can be myself around you, and I feel like we like vibe together, then it's not hard for me to love. Mm-hmm. And it was just, she made it easy for me to just love her fast. Oh. So, yeah, it was one of them times, and I just let her know, it's like, hey, look, before I say this, I want to let you know. Ain't no pressure for you to say it back. It ain't no timeline for you to say it. You could say it in a year or so. But I just want to make sure you know how I feel. Uh-huh. I want to let you know that I love you. And she didn't really know how to act. She didn't say anything.
I said thank you.
Oh yeah, she said thank you.
I said thank you. I didn't know what to say.
Yeah, she said thank you. And I was not defeated at all. As a matter of fact, I was like, glad I got that off my chest. Like, I had to let her know that's the truth. So, yeah. Okay, you want to pivot and talk about what we want to talk about? First met or...
No, because every time we disagree about the first meeting.
Every
time. We might as well just start with the first time we met, because I have a different story of when we first met.
Matter of fact, how about you talk about the first time we met, and I'll talk about the first time we met. Yeah, we'll do that. So.
Okay. So the first time... The first time we met was in New Orleans. No, not New Orleans, Lord. It was in Florida, right? Yeah, because that was the Full Gospel Conference. Yeah, so we met in Florida. It was...
What year was that? Was that 2017? That the same year you came to the conference?
Yes.
Yeah, that was the same year because you didn't want to do the song. That was the same year you came to the conference.
All right, you didn't have to say all that. You did not have to say all that. But the first time we met was in Florida at the Full Gospel Conference. One of my the people I was with at the time, she introduced me to you. Yeah, and so that was the first time.
So she says.
I remember meeting him because she was like, "Hey, this is my little sis. You know, this is Chria." And I was like, "Oh, hey, who's this? Oh, Jamal. Oh, hey, how you doing?" And it was just through passing. So I feel like that was the first time. Well, that was the first time I remember meeting him. How about that? He didn't remember because he was Mr. Popular.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
you know.
Yeah, that's 2017. You know, I just had a lot going on. I had a lot going on in my head around that time.
Yeah.
You know, I was still coming into the man that I am today.
Oh my
you know
gosh.
what I'm saying? So, my mind was sidetracked by many things. Being in Orlando, so yeah.
Oh
my
yeah.
apologies. Yeah.
Very sidetracked.
Yeah, it was very distracted. But
Very
hey,
distracted.
hallelujah! Thank you for
No longer distracted now.
yeah. No longer bound.
Nope.
No longer bound. Anyway, let's talk about the real first time we met.
See how you do.
So the real first time we met was really, and I know you're gonna have some pushback about the year, but it was I think we established the last time we talked. It was 2018. It was the end of 2018. It was my freshman year of college. It was your senior year. Because you had the Spelman on.
Right.
And I thought you was going to Spelman.
I was going to Spelman. Right.
Okay. So we was coming down for the Full Gospel Regional Conference. So, you know, it's technically, there are some similarities to the first time we met. You know, Full Gospel International, Full Gospel Regional.
You know.
Yeah. So, Full Gospel Regional Conference. And then, this how you know I didn't really remember like when we first met, because then I asked the same person. I was like, "Who is this? Who is her?"
See, he had too many. He had too many people he was thinking about at the other time, our first time meeting. That's why he didn't remember.
I don't disagree with that. But you know what I'm saying. But the Lord provided a way of escape. Not only did He provide a way of escape, amen, He provided another opportunity.
All right, Bishop. All right, Bishop.
Less distractions, shall I say? Yatabasa. So okay. Anyway, all right, we back.
Wow.
So I recognized her. Was asking about her. And then we had practice together, to which we were partners. So we had to, work together, and that's where a lot of the conversation really started. And then later on throughout that weekend, we went out to eat. We went to a hibachi restaurant. And then, you know what I'm saying? That's when I really had to put on my cape, and really start showing who I really am for real. You know what I'm saying? And so that's when we was at the table. We sat next to each other, and I'm just spitting some of the most smoothest game that's out here that's ever been invented. And she going for all of it. She going. She was going.
There's footage too.
Laughing, giggling. Yeah. I ain't gonna link the.
Please don't. Yeah, we ain't gotta do all that. No.
I ain't gonna link the footage, but listen.
We ain't gotta do all that.
I mean, there was no joke that I said that night that did not land. Like,
it's fair.
It was executed, and then I had folks hating on me because after that, my own brothers, my own blood, Asa and Lason, they was like, "Man, you ain't got no motion because you ain't get her number. You was doing all that, you ain't get her number." And then I didn't even defend myself. I didn't say, "Oh yes, I did." Nope. I just kept going throughout the weekend, and then they saw her text me, and it was like, "Oh, you got her number." Like, come on, bro. Stop acting like, don't do that. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, the Lord was still working on me, and my heart had changed tremendously. But hey, man, I still remember how to twing step back.
All right,
you know what I'm saying? I still know how to, you know what I'm saying?
All right.
Euro, fake, like, I still remember the moves, you know what I'm saying? So, all right. So that's how we met, and then I got a number, and we started talking.
We started texting.
Yeah, texting. Yeah, I'm sorry. Be specific. We started texting.
Specific.
We was texting back and forth for a little minute. Then we stopped.
Then that minute dwindled.
Yeah, we stopped for about 2.5, 3 years.
And it was his fault.
yeah.
It was his fault. Yep.
Yeah, it was my fault. Yeah.
I was like, oh, okay, well, it's fun while it lasted, but you know,
it was my fault.
Put me first.
Let's see, cause that next,
20. You said that was 2018, so
2019.
Yeah, I graduated high school.
Yeah,
Went to Kennesaw.
Cause then that next year I finished out my freshman year college, and then my freshman year of college was just my freshman year of college. Man, it was just
my freshman year of college.
Your
strictly my freshman
so that
year
next
of college.
year,
You know?
so it was my freshman year, then it's your freshman year, so we got our 2 freshman years out, and then we still had a little, I guess a half year break until the pandemic hit.
Right.
And then we all went home, stuff like that. So really, once we returned to campus from the pandemic is when we started talking.
I agree.
Yeah.
Yes.
Cause this was something that get mixed up too.
Yes.
So I always know because that's when I started living with Joseph and Jalen.
And I was at my first apartment.
Yeah.
Bixby.
Yeah. So we started talking. Then I think it was like I had posted something. No, you posted something.
I posted something. I remember.
Yeah. So she posted something. I think she was like, you was
I was bored. I was in my apartment all by myself. I had three other roommates. And I was bored. So I was like, hey, I'm bored. Who's up? Type of thing on my story.
Yeah. And I was up just because I couldn't sleep. And I just had a lot of things I was trying to accomplish that year. It was so much going on around that time. So I couldn't sleep just about every night. And I had all online classes, so I wasn't even pressed to go to sleep. Because that first online class I had was like the survey of music or something like that. I had like just an elective I picked up to graduate. So, and that was online, and I literally slept through that class because all the work was online. The lectures was boring. He talked monotone. The professor himself would put me right back to sleep. Anyway, so yeah, I slid up, and I think I said like, "Do you want to FaceTime? So we need to catch up. We need to FaceTime." Yeah. And we started FaceTiming, and then like that one FaceTime call turned into another one because I think the next thing that happened was I posted something about TV shows.
Yes.
And then we started talking about TV shows, and then I FaceTimed her. We started talking about TV shows more. And then that led into just other conversations, just asking each other about each other and
Because the first show you put me on was Snowfall. I'll never forget. It was Snowfall.
We was watching Snowfall together.
First season, a little shaky, but it was good. It was a good show.
So then, how we really started talking like a lot is every time she would watch an episode, we would like call and recap it, like what she think. And I had restarted it and was watching it with her, stuff like that. So then that really just developed and started developing to a genuine, authentic connection. I graduated. Excuse me. I graduated. And even between this, we still both was talking to other people.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
We
both were talking to other people, and then I'll say about. After my graduation, I had my graduation party in Atlanta, and everybody was just on us about, what are y'all?
Oh, yeah, he invited me.
Yeah, because I invited. Oh yeah, fact. So I invited her to my graduation party in Atlanta,
and nobody knew about it.
Yeah, nobody knew I invited her, so they were surprised to see her, and they were like, "Oh well, I know what this means." So then they started literally interrogating us. So are y'all dating? So, even though that was uncomfortable, it definitely put pressure on us to kind of just figure out what we actually doing and stuff like that. And we had that conversation.
You want to talk about the gifts?
Huh?
The gifts.
Oh yeah. So that's when I realized. So matter of fact, before that, this is important to know, because like a lot of people, even at the graduation party, was looking at me like I was fumbling, like I was about to fumble her, and it's possibly, maybe, but you got to hear me out. You got to know my context. Now, historically, I was the guy who lived in zones when it came to women. Like, I lived there. I just accepted it. I was always placed there, so I might as well, pitch a tent and just live in these zones. So, which became like, I became very close friends to a lot of women, and that's all they needed. I feel like every woman needs a friend like me. Unfortunately, for me, if I wanted to be more than friends with them, because they wanted just a friend like me. So, me being someone who was historically friend zoned, brother in Christ zoned.
Jesus.
I don't know. It's some other zones that like literally was invented specifically for me. But I was in those. I was in all of them, and I was like, dang, But all of these are, good women and met my standards. But it's just, I always wanted to build a foundation of friendship and let that develop into something deeper. Mm-hmm. And it just never seemed to get past the friendship part. We would build the foundation of friendship, and it's like, I really like our friendship. Mm-hmm. I don't want to complicate it further. I don't want to take it. And it, and it was with respect.
Mm-hmm. Can I say something real quick?
Yeah, go ahead.
I think with me, I will always get to the talking stage, but nothing will ever go past that. So we had similar things, but mine was a little different because it would always get to that talking stage, but they never would be like, will you be my girlfriend, or this is going somewhere. It will always be, I'm just wasting her time just to, waste her time. So yeah, that was my situation at the time. Yeah,
and so I'm not gonna lie, because as we just talked about how like I love easy, or even catch feelings easily, or be into somebody easily. Right. So like I honestly, like, there were situations where I thought it was gonna be the one. I thought this was gonna be this is gonna turn into something beautiful and stuff, and it wasn't. And like, if I'm being honest, that I was hurt a lot through those, from person to person. I'm like, dang, like, am I doing too much? Yeah, I felt like I was doing too much. I'm like, am I doing too much? Like, we're actually trying to seek a genuine friendship first and then let that develop into a relationship. Like, is that too much to ask? Or am I being too serious? Like, do I need to be dating somebody older than me?
Because we're so young. Why are we trying to look for something so serious so quickly?
Yeah, so like, I thought we was tripping. Like,
nah, it was just dumb.
Yeah, and I just had to wait to find somebody that was on that same like wavelength as me, as far as in like really wanting to have that friendship, let it develop, because I always want us to be able to fall on that friendship, which we got that now.
Yeah.
And we actually just got that reassured by some advice that Malia gave us when we was at church.
Yes.
And she was like, hey, at the end of the day, when you don't like them as your husband, just remember that's your best friend.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Just let, so even if you don't feel like dealing with your husband, go talk to your best friend.
Right.
Just having another layer to fall back on. And I think, because I had marriage in mind and only marrying once in mind, like, I want to make sure if we could get as much as we can out the way, and we can check as many boxes as possible, at least to set us up so that we'll have something sustainable, and that's what I want. So,
well, back to the graduation party.
Yeah, I'm sorry.
We flew off track.
But it was good. Like, it was good.
That was good stuff. Yeah, that was good stuff.
Yeah, graduation party. So, up until this point, all that to say, like, up until this, I don't know if like she really feeling me like that or not. So, Then she gets me a gift for graduation, right? This will set it off for me. This is what. Oh, okay. All right, bet. So I go up. I don't even open it while we there. Like, I wait till everybody leave. Open it.
Yeah.
So I open it. First of all, it's in a bag. Tissue paper in there.
It was a bag?
It was a bag.
No,
it wasn't a bag.
No.
What was it? What
was
in
a
there?
card.
I know it was a card. So the card wasn't in the bag.
I don't think so.
The card was in the bag.
Okay, the card was in the bag, y'all. I thought it wasn't in the bag.
I opened this.
Okay, you right. You right.
Okay.
You right.
Card, because I remember breaking it all down, like, you know, the thought, it was a small bag. That's probably why you forgot.
Okay.
It wasn't like nothing like, yeah, it was like a small bag just big enough to fit the card. And
okay.
So I opened it, you know, took it out. Boom, I'm like, okay, bag, tissue paper. Okay, there's some intentionality behind that. And then I opened up the envelope and I'm like, oh, it's a gift card in here. Then I'm like, oh, it's a $50 gift card in here. 50. Ain't nobody give me no $50 gift card. Nobody else that came here. And I was like, oh. And I think you wrote something like, congratulations. Da, da, da. And I was like, oh, okay. She want to be a girlfriend. Oh, I got it. A girlfriend.
Y'all, I'm a great gift giver now. I will say that. I'm a pretty good gift giver.
So, I think that's what it triggered for me, and she don't get how that triggered for me. But I'm like, how I saw it is like, you not getting a $50 gift card for nobody that you not trying to like be in either a relationship with or have a deep connection with them in the future. Like that's $50 is an investment. $25 is generous. You know what I'm saying? 50, nah, that ain't no regular gift. So that 50 was where I was like, oh, okay, bet. That's when I really knew. I was like, okay, she really. That gave me the reassurance I needed to have, the conversation we needed to have. Mm-hmm. And even when I told her, like, yo, let's be intentional, spending time together, and see if a connection develops deep enough to transition to a relationship. I didn't think that I thought she was going to say, you know, what I heard a lot more times, like, oh, I think we should just, you know, stay friends. I like our friendship, da-da-da. Mm-hmm. And she was basically like, okay, like, I wouldn't be opposed to us doing that. And I'm like, wait, what?
Hold on now.
Like, wait, what?
You serious?
Okay, so, and I'm like, and I think that's where So What Now came from. Or that was from when we got together.
I think that was when we got together.
Yeah, that was when we got together. Okay. Yeah, so after that, what was it?
Oh, by this time, he did say that, but I was still entertaining other people because I've kind of been down this road before that we're talking type of thing. Mm-hmm. And I didn't want what happened to happen again, you know, so I had to keep my options open.
Yeah. And I was okay with her keeping her options open.
I told him that.
Yeah.
It's not like he didn't know.
Yeah. And like, my options were technically still open. It's just I wasn't really looking anymore. Like, I wasn't looking anymore. I really think this was. I started to have this newfound confidence where I'm like, yeah, I ain't gonna talk to nobody. She can talk to other people though. Ain't none of those brothers are me. So, I always said something else, but like, yeah, ain't none of the men of God me. So she go ahead and talk to him. Matter of fact, the more she talk to him, the more she'll see they ain't me. Right. So, hey man, like Kendrick will say, they really not like
all
us.
right.
It's really one of me out here.
At that point, I had went out on a date.
Mm-hmm.
I was
happy for you too. I seen that. I said, oh, this is a nice day. That's nice.
I went on a date and everything. It was like, oh, this is nice.
I was like, and I seen that. I was like, I'm going to be all right. He ain't me. He ain't me. I'm like, hey, man, I can pull the trigger whatever I want to, bro. That's how I was feeling. I just started developing a very strong confidence. That's when I knew. I was like, yeah, this is going to be the one. And my mom, my dad as a witness, I told them, I'm only bringing one woman home. And the one woman I bring home, that will be my wife. and I've only brought her home to dinner.
Yeah.
And she is my wife.
Right.
So,
right.
Yeah, I told him, like, hey, we doing this one time. Y'all meeting one person.
Amen.
That was just my standard. I got it when I was, like, maybe, I don't know, probably, like, in high school. I was like, you know what? I'm going to just go ahead and commit. My parents only meet one person. And when she comes to dinner specifically, like, that's going to be it. And, yep, that was all she wrote.
Yeah.
Then, yeah. Then a couple months, no, not even a couple months, like a couple weeks later, we actually just like made it official and got together.
Yeah.
Because we realized, like, hey, we don't need no talking stage. We've been communicating and all this stuff.
Talking stages, hate
so it's like, we don't need that. Let's just go and be together. And that's how we got together.
Yeah, the rest is history.
Yep. And that is how I met your mother. And son, if you're watching this, that's how you came here, all right?
Oh,
that's the backstory of how you got here.
Right.
All right, let's get back to these. Ooh, perfect segue. What standards should someone have before entering a relationship?
That's good. The first big standard I'll say is that your partner should have the same belief system as you have. That's number one. Number two, if we're saying no sex before marriage, make sure that is kept while you enter that relationship. Let's see. Is that it? I think those are the main two. I will say those are the main two.
Let me tag.
Yes, go ahead. You're it.
I think one standard that you should have before getting into a relationship is, I'm glad you started there, because I was gonna start there too. Definitely gotta have that belief system. Not just that y'all both believe in God, but like make sure y'all are the same like religion. Make sure y'all are the same belief system. You know what I'm saying? If it's believe in God, like, and you talking about Jesus, make sure there's clarity. Hey, Jesus that raised from the dead.
Right.
Now I believe Jesus, walked the earth. You know what I'm saying? It's just like, nah, make sure it is the exact same
belief system.
I feel like if y'all don't believe in the same thing belief system wise, it could just, because belief systems usually like are the foundation of why people act the way they act. Mm-hmm. And if you can't really understand that from partner to partner, it'll make it harder for you guys to have an actual foundation.
And not even make it harder. It's not going to work.
Yeah.
It's not going to work.
Yeah. And I feel like there's been situations where, maybe either party didn't feel too strongly about their religion or beliefs, and it could work that way. But if it's two people who feel strongly about their beliefs, and they have no compromise in their heart, I think there's always going to be
bumps. Yeah, there's always going to bump heads.
But a standard, I believe that I think respect is just a big standard to just have either side.
Right.
Like you have to set that standard of respect. And I don't want anybody to trap themselves in a relationship. If that person can't be respectful to you, they can't have a disagreement with you without cussing you out or putting their hands on you, that is not a person you need to be with, because they have
zero respect for you.
They have violated all types of respect, dignity, everything. They violated that, and they don't respect you in that way. So that's never should be a thing that I believe people should stay in. Now, I do empathize and understand that it's not always as simple as leaving once feelings are involved, right? Love is involved, and even if you have sex with that person, and now there's a soul tie, Yeah. So it's like there's a lot of things that go into it, and I understand and empathize with that. And I believe it goes back into what we were talking about earlier, which I do think should be a standard for you. The person entering a relationship is self-love.
Right.
Self-love really gives you the strength to leave when the person is clearly violating you in a way that will not change. I also believe that I think it's important to have someone, not necessarily who's social, but someone who knows how to be respectful in public.
Yes. Oof.
Because one thing that's gonna drive me crazy if you embarrassing me while we out in public.
Raising your voice, yelling for what? We're in public.
Like you cussing out the waiter at every restaurant.
We need to do some inner work because at this point, the waitress is not the problem.
Nah.
You.
Like stuff like that. Like
that's embarrassing.
You gotta have that stuff already lined. Like, nah, I'm not gonna. You gotta know what you won't go into, because I've had to counsel many people who were my brothers and friends, people I met, rather it's in college or just met through life, and they asking for my advice or asking for my counsel, and I asked them, so, what were your standards before you came into the relationship? It's like, man, she gotta be, fine. She gotta be this, that, and the third. And I'm like, dang, none of these had nothing to do with her character.
Like, that's all physical. That's one thing we gotta get out of.
Red flag.
Red flag.
Red flag.
Red flag. If all your standards are about the physical, oh wow, we're not ready to be in a relationship.
Red flag.
For real.
Don't do that. Don't do that.
Yeah.
Just don't.
Yeah, don't do it.
Save yourself, please. Don't do that. Don't do that.
No.
So, something else that I think, let me look at this one more time. Before entering a relationship, I believe that you should at least have had a decent amount of time in a season of your life where, as a single person, you were intentional about becoming a better person alone.
Yeah, that's good.
Like, I think what really helped me coming into a relationship with you is there was a specific season where, I knew I wanted to be in a relationship. But I also knew that there were some things in me that I needed to fix and some things I just needed to get right with God. So in that season, I really focused inward of how can I be better? How can I? And it gave me an actual goal to achieve. It gave me an actual thing to chase after instead of always chasing after a person. It actually gave me a goal. Like, all right. Let me get into worship every day. Let me start reading the Bible every day. Okay, now what are some things that I notice that people always have a problem with me? Okay, cool. When I'm playing something that's competitive, am I easy to work with? So just in normal everyday situations, you can just realize, like, am I easy? Do they always say that I'm late? Do they always say that I'm undependable? Do they always say that I make excuses? Do they always say? So if this is something they always say, and maybe it's not everybody else, maybe it's me. So let me just work on these things so I'm not also hearing that from my partner. So just take a moment and listen to what those around you are saying.
Yeah.
I think sometimes it's easy for us to just like, oh no, that's not me, that's not me, that's not me. And we just had a recent conversation about this, but there should always be some room when somebody brings something to you to where you think like, man, am I doing that? Am I doing that? Is this something that I'm doing? Okay. Well, if it's not, like, how can someone see me doing this? How can that be received? Because even if I'm not intentionally doing this, I'm making my partner feel this way. So how can I change what I do so that my partner doesn't feel that way.
Mm-hmm.
And so I think these are just some great things to have before coming to a relationship. I didn't have all of these before coming into a relationship. Like, you know, some of these things I hadn't figured out yet. So, especially from a perspective of marriage, you know, giving you just a heads up. Like, a lot of the things that will impact your marriage, you really need to iron that out in your singleness.
Mm-hmm.
Because, yeah.
Yeah, I'll say one thing, because something to add to that. Before you get in a relationship, remember that you need some time to yourself. Remember that you need some time to yourself in a relationship, because you don't want to get so caught up in the relationship where you lose yourself, and now you're so consumed with what your partner's doing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's good.
Oh, it's my turn.
Yeah.
Is this two? Okay. Okay, what has been the best resource for you when it comes to navigating marriage? The best resource? Therapy. 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 Love therapy.
You heard it.
Therapy.
Therapy. Go to therapy.
Please go to therapy.
Just go.
It works.
Just go. You know. And then if you're in a relationship, just ask your therapist for every now and then to just invite your partner in on a therapy session.
Yes, I love my therapist.
Yeah,
I love her down.
Me too.
Love her down. Yes.
So yes,
therapy.
For me, okay, mine is layered. So it has been the advice of trusted married men.
That's good.
Has been the biggest resource for me.
That's good.
And that is my dad, my brother who is married, and then, you know, as you know, I'm a basement dweller, so that'll be Tim Ross and what he gives as far as in really not taking it easy on the men.
Right.
And like, hey, no, it's your job to do this, that, and the third. At the end of the day, it is on Adam. It ain't sin don't enter the world until Adam sins. Like, at the end of the day, it's on Adam. You need to figure it out. You need to lead. You need to initiate that conversation
good,
first.
because even though Eve did it first, it was Adam. Wow.
Yeah. Because I know, like, you know how everybody, they kind of go crazy. Like, oh, when I see Eve in heaven, yeah, I promise you, Eve gonna be like, your problem ain't with me. You need to go talk to Adam, because it won't sin.
Me and Eve still got some problems.
Oh yeah, with all the other stuff.
What we gotta go through as women?
She did.
Yeah. Eve still gonna get it.
That was her.
Eve still gonna get it for sure.
That was her. That other stuff y'all gotta do it. No, that's Eve.
Yeah. That's Eve. Oh, one other resource through navigating marriage, I'll say, is not always taking everybody's advice, because it's not always good advice.
Yeah.
If you're not a licensed therapist,
yeah,
I'm gonna leave that at that.
And then you gotta really use discernment, because you have people who have never been married that want to give marriage advice, and then you have people who have been married for a long time but haven't been in a good marriage for a long time and want to give marriage advice. And you got to use the discernment, or have been married before.
Right, and now they're divorced. Yeah, and so now they want to
give you advice from a place of divorce and heartbreak, rather, you know what I'm saying? So it's just, you got to be careful. Okay. What's 3 things women need to hear?
Ooh, I don't, that's, 3 things.
3 things women need to hear.
One, always keep your spouse in prayer. That's spouse, boyfriend, friend, anything. Keep them in prayer. 2,
family, everybody.
Yeah, everybody. 3 things women need to hear.
Just women in general. Even outside the context of a relationship.
Let's see.
That's one.
Always, well, I won't even say always, but try your best to find sisters in Christ. That's the second thing. Try your best to find a godly sisterhood in community. Yeah, always be in community with godly sisters in Christ.
Yeah.
3, and I know that's hard because I'm still struggling with that, trying to navigate and find those godly friendships that I really need in my life. The third thing, number 3, I would say self-care and finding a fun new hobby. That's what I say.
That's good.
What about men? 3 things men need to hear.
Okay, I'll do 3 things men need to hear. But I really feel strongly that I need to do 3 things women need to hear from a man.
I like that. I like that. I like that. I like that a lot.
Because especially just where today's society is, when it comes to just not having as much respect for women as needed, I think these are 3 things that I believe every woman needs to hear from a man. Number 1, you are so much more valuable. As a matter of fact, let me say that in a better way. 3 things that women need to hear from a man. Number 1, you are so much more valuable than how well your body is, or how beautiful your face is, or how great your sex is. You are so much more. You're worth so much more to people than that. And you gotta know that. 2, I believe that every woman needs to hear that although, let me see, how can I phrase it? I want to say this right just to really be sensitive. I believe every woman needs to hear that although you experience a lot, you are stronger than what you think. And you can take more than what you think you can. And men should commend you more for your strength. And so I believe every woman needs to just hear from a man who's supposed to represent strength. That they are strong. They're needed. And the third thing is, I believe every woman should know from a man that we are here to protect you. We are here to protect you. And there is no man on this earth. It was never designed for women to feel uncomfortable around men. Men were always designed to be protectors of women, to be a safe place for women. So I just want to reassure any woman watching this that there are men out there where you are safe, where your thoughts are safe, your body is safe, your outfit, whatever you wore today, is safe. Like who you are, your personality, everything is safe. I feel like a lot of women just need to know that there are men out here that they can feel safe around.
Right. Yeah.
So those are 3 things I want to say to women. Oh, and then you said, what's 3 things that men need to hear?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think I could spit these off. Number 1, it's okay to show emotion, specifically cry. It's okay to be vulnerable. I'll make that all into 1. 2, when it comes to your family, financial provision is not the only type of way to provide. Do not be satisfied with only providing financially for your family. You are called to be a protector of your family. You are called to lead your family spiritually.
Mm-hmm.
Like, you are called to do so much more provision than just financial. If you hang your hat in just the financial part, you may find out that in the future you'll have kids who resent you, your wife, your partner may resent you, those around you. Like, if you only throwing what you do financially for people back in their face. But you got to be more and provide more to not just your family, but to the world, more than just what you can give them, provide them.
Mm-hmm.
And the third thing is, you can't do anything alone. Men, we have this tendency of just like, I'm gonna grind it out, I'm gonna figure it out, like, I'm gonna man up, I'm gonna do this. But a lot of those times when we manning up and we trying to do things, we're trying to do it on our own.
Right.
You don't have to do everything on your own. And that's what I'm still learning. Excuse me. That's what I'm still learning right now. I don't got to do everything on my own. So, yeah. You don't have to do everything on your own. That's number 3. Ready?
I thought that was mine. Oh, no, that was yours, right? Because it was 3 things women need to hear.
Yeah.
That was yours?
Yeah.
Okay. Oh.
Big one.
Oh, we got 2 more questions.
2
Okay. What does a long distance relationship need to make it to the altar? Ooh. Oh, that's a good question. Does a long distance relationship need to make it to the altar? Oh.
We can go back and forth with this one.
Yeah, let's go back and forth with this one. You want to go first?
What it sound like these
days. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. First things first. I think there needs to be a plan of how long it is expected for y'all to be long distance.
Oof.
I think that is something key.
Right.
I think that was something that kind of kept us going. Like, we like, okay, we know we got, just one more year, or what I'm saying, or just like we knew once I graduate, or we knew once I transitioned from a place in my master's program where I didn't have to take classes in person, that I could move. So now it's like there has to be something to work towards. Go ahead.
And the crazy thing is, once we started our relationship, we started it long distance. Like, he was here for the summer, and then in August he was gone to North Carolina. And it wasn't hard at first. It really wasn't hard because we did constant FaceTime calls. We texted all day. We went through our day with each other. But I feel like as the years went on, it got harder and harder and harder.
As we got closer, not being long distance.
Right. And I didn't know this. Well, I didn't know that you were gonna propose when he did, but yeah.
And let's see. Let me see what it say. What does a long distance relationship need to make it to the altar?
Communication.
Yeah, that's gonna be the biggest thing, cause and learning how to communicate. Like, we had to learn, like, everything. We can't talk about everything through text because we can't.
Right.
That's just not gonna work.
We don't know how to interpret a text.
Yeah, because it could be a whole different type of tone.
Right.
That's in a text that, now we have to assume that the person is reading this in the right tone. But if it's something that already has some tension to it, it's going to be hard for them to read it in a good tone if it's already a tense conversation. So stuff like that, we just had to learn.
Yeah, because there were many times I was like, can we talk about this on the phone or FaceTime? Because I'm not liking it. But yeah.
Yeah, and I think, man, with long distance relationship, you definitely got to have some strong boundaries. Especially if it's cross state lines, because we were 6 hours away.
Yeah.
So there were just some things that, there were some boundaries that I had to have, because there were situations where I'm like, in no way, shape, or form could this get back to her because it's 6 hours away. But what's done in the dark will always come to the light. Some way, somehow, things is gonna come back.
Yeah.
So it's like you always want to have those boundaries because when the temptation comes, the temptation needs to hit the boundary before it hits you.
Right.
So that you don't gotta choose between falling to the temptation or not.
And with that, the next thing you need is honesty.
Mm-hmm. Facts. Yep. And like we said earlier, honesty and faithfulness go hand in hand. So
right.
you gotta be faithful and honest. I believe you have to be creative.
Mm-hmm.
Because it can be hard to, keep things interesting long distance,
Like keep the spark alive.
Yeah, and so I would try to do things like we would have a movie night. I remember the first time I tried to do like a movie night on Zoom to where I could share the screen and we watch it together. We had snacks and stuff. Yeah, there's a lot of buffering going on. So for the long distance people, don't do that.
Just FaceTime.
Just FaceTime and hit that 1, 2, 3, go. You know what I'm saying? We was numbers connoisseurs. Like, I'm at 0, 16, go to 0, go to 52, 45. Like, and then we like, okay, 3, 2, 1, go.
Yeah.
Right. So okay, now you mute yourself. I don't want to hear the TV. You ahead of me. So like all that stuff, like just try to figure it out. With stuff like that, we would look up questions to ask each other to, when we ran out of stuff to talk about for real, so that we keep knowing about each other and stuff like that. And then you gotta really invest into a relationship and plan times for you guys to see each other. Even though y'all long distance, you can't get complacent with just making long distance work. Figure out times where y'all can see each other.
Like once a month or twice a month or something like that.
Whatever you can do, whatever you can afford. Like just make sure that time gets in of you guys still having some type of timeline of when y'all gonna see each other as the months progress. It'll help things go by.
And when you see each other, try to have the best moments that you can with each other.
Yeah.
We had to learn that the hard way.
Yeah.
Yeah, try to have the best moments you can with each other. Try not to have any little petty arguments or anything like that. I mean, just try your best not to. Yeah.
And if the arguments happen, don't let it ruin the whole weekend. Because you might be a whole another month and a half till y'all see each other. Right. So you just gotta...
He talking about me. He's talking about me. It's okay. He's talking about me.
We just gotta learn,
Yeah, we just gotta learn. Women, don't stay in that attitude. Don't stay in that funky attitude. Just let it roll off and enjoy the rest of the weekend.
Sometimes the men be coming to a resolution quicker than you thought, and then now you don't know what to do with the leftover attitude.
Right. So, now I'm still mad because you came up with a resolution too quick.
Yeah. So, you gotta find somewhere to put that. You need to submit that to God.
All right.
Okay.
All right.
I just drew another one.
Okay.
You can put that one in the... Okay. How did you and your partner... Oh, we talked about this. Meet and what led you been together? We talked
about that already. Look at that.
See,
last one.
Okay, last one. Put that back in there. Okay, I'll just leave it. Okay. What are things you and your partner do to ensure you are communicating well?
That's a crazy one. No, I'm just kidding. Things we do to... What was it?
Oh, dang, I put it in there early.
Yeah.
To ensure that we're communicating well. I picked the wrong one.
Oh,
but
okay.
what are things that you and your partner do to ensure that you're communicating well?
Let's see, things we do.
Yeah. Like, one thing we do is we was talking about this yesterday, we feel like that a conversation isn't going anywhere.
That's good.
Then we're like, hey, let's take a break from this conversation.
Mm-hmm.
Kind of both recollect our thoughts, think about some other things, kind of take a breath, and then let's come back to the situation. Maybe we'll have, just like a fresh mind to put on it. Maybe we're too frustrated right now. We can't see eye to eye. Let's just, if we truly need it, let's just take a break. Let's come right back and see if we can do a better job of trying to communicate this to each other. Another thing. Were you about to say something?
Go ahead.
Okay. Another thing that we do is we try to leave room for everyone's feelings to be valid. Rather we agree with them or not.
Still working on that. Working on that. Yeah. So
the
agreement part. Yes, the agreement part.
Because there be times it's like, I hear your feelings. I just don't agree with them.
I just don't agree with them.
I don't know what to do with them.
Yeah.
So, just
tone
make sure.
too.
Yeah, tone. That's I'm big on tone.
He's humongous on tone. Yes, tone.
Just, I blame Dr. Edwards if you're watching this. My professor if you're watching this. Anybody who's ever taught me anything about clinical interviews or anything psychology related, it's your fault. Because you guys taught me how to pick up on tones and how to read where people really are based on what they're saying. Right. So now I'm hypersensitive to it, and she has to deal with it.
And now I gotta deal with it.
So hey, I'm actually blaming you. Yeah.
It is their fault.
Yeah, we're gonna do it like that.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm super big on tone, and then a lot of times she don't even realize the type of tone she has. Like, I didn't even say it in no type of way. I'm like, you saying I didn't even say it a type of way? Like, yeah,
I'm still working on that because it sounds one way in my head, and then when it comes out, it's like, Yeah. But then he was like, no, you said, I don't like how you said that. Ooh.
Yeah, and I do really believe that it sounds more respectful in your head.
It really does. I promise.
That's why there is grace for you. Because I know she probably wanted to say that better. But
I did. It just didn't come out right. I'm still working on it, y'all. I'm getting better, but there's still some areas I can grow, with that.
Yeah, let's see what else, some stuff we do to like make sure that like we are communicating well. Oh my God, what is?
Honestly, I think that's all we do, right?
Let me see. I'm trying to think. What we said. Make sure feelings validated.
Yeah.
Make sure tone is right. What else?
Take a break if we need to.
Oh yeah, take a break. Yeah, that is a good bit of them. I feel like we're missing one. I feel like we are missing one. Dang it. I can't think of it. You don't feel like we're missing one? Oh,
he got it.
I think it's like make sure the person gets to finish their complete thought before like cutting them off or speaking.
Ooh, that's another one I have a problem with because I just think I know everything. At least I'm calling myself out, y'all. That's growth right there in itself.
Yeah. I think
that was a good one though.
Yeah, and like something I feel like I gotta work on is like not invalidating my own feelings before I even, get into us talking. And then I'd be like, you know what? I don't even feel like I feel like I'm doing too much. Or if I say this, I would rather just us be in a good mood instead of me say this and then bring up something negative, and then now I don't, But
then you want me to stop doing that, and I've stopped doing that because I just won't say anything or won't bring it to the surface. And then you're like, well, what's wrong? But then if he does it, he tries to invalidate his feelings and not say nothing.
Mm-hmm. Cause like I think I'll just be like,
Yeah.
there'll be certain times where I just be like, you know what?
It ain't that deep.
I want us to have a good day, and I feel like this is gonna ruin our day. Cause I'm like, I don't think we're gonna be able to just have this conversation and then move on. I feel like it's gonna be some leftover. Like it's gonna be just some residual tension left. I say residual, but yeah, whatever. Some
leftover tension. Yeah.
But yeah. So I want to thank everybody for tuning in. Y'all let me know if y'all want to see more of Chria Midgette.
Yes.
My wife. And,
This was fun.
She's definitely going to be in some more episodes in the future.
Yeah.
But we want to thank you guys for tuning in into the chopping block where trees become pencils and roses grow from the concrete. Y'all have a good day. Peace.
I really like that ending.
Peace.
That's a great ending.
Thank you.
What
Bye
you
for
say?
real, y'all. This time.
Trees
Okay,
grow?
maybe not.
What you say? And something about pencils. What you
Where
say? Where trees
become pencils
right.
and roses grow from the concrete.
I like that.
So trees, like these big things, they become pencils. So small things that we could just use. You know.
Where did you get that from? I like
The
that.
Lord.
I know that's right, Lord.
The Lord gave it to me.
Mm-hmm.
And then roses grow from the concrete. Yeah, it's like, I feel like everybody's a rose, but everybody had to grow through hard situations. So that's the concrete that's around them.
I like that.
So yeah, that's our motto
You
right
can put
there.
that on the shirt.
Yeah, we do.
I like that.
All right, bye for real.
Oh,
y'all.
bye.
Bye.